Hallucinating constraints. It soothes the symptoms that my mind would paint. Color. Colors or the mysteries. Splish and splash like rainbow dishes, but only leading to more queries. Attempting to conjure. Could it be from a past time or preordained, perhaps to occur at a later date? Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Poetry Journal Podcast, and I'm your host, Alex Murdoch. Hope everyone's doing well, and shout out to my listeners. And sorry for by the time you hear this, it might be a little bit later than usual. I try to range between Thursdays and Mondays to get my episode out, and the reason being is because it gives me a kind of like a leeway when I do want to get a guest in, or when I do have a guest. Normally people find it more convenient to get like a episode with me done normally on the weekends, so I try to be as accommodating as I can be. And apart from that, with all the scheduling I have going on, with things to do with just lifestyle, or with organizing my own situation with my own business, my books, etc. This is usually, the best way. But I always try my best to make sure that I get it out as soon as possible. So I thought I'd just shed a bit of light on that. But apart from that, I hope everyone's doing well and still having a good, somewhat decent time of the year, because I think for the most part everyone's experiencing sun right now, and it has been a really good one in London, I must say. Not as warm as I've mentioned in the past couple of weeks. People are sadly preparing for winter again. The shivers, etc., etc. But hey, it is what it is. We're not complaining. I think some people are kind of positive because the temperatures has kind of calmed down. Like, I've heard from a lot of people where it's just like, oh man, it's too hot. Like, it's too hot, but me personally, I've loved every minute of it. But I actually was born I'm actually originally from Jamaica, which is, and I was born and grown there until into the first decade of my life, pretty much. So I've always loved the heat, and even when it's excessively hot. So that's that. But what you heard at the start was a piece of what I'm covering today, and of course, it's always poetry and to do with poetry. But with this episode, and normally I have to say, of course, the standard is I just read little quotes or paragraphs from the full piece that I would write normally, but once in a while I like to throw a spanner in the works, and of course I like to give a little bit of a treat to people that listen to, like, basically my audience, my people that listen to my podcasting episodes. Once in a while I like to give a little treat, whether it's like me just kind of just reiterating reiterating just like four pieces that I know exist within a book that I've kind of put out. Whether it's Poetry Journal, Dream, Imagine, Express, or Poetry Journal, Growing Pains. One out of the two, I usually just kind of bring pieces that I would kind of just read, and just for the sake of people who appreciate hearing what I have to say, but in verbally, just kind of. I like to think that I try to. It sounds like I'm performing in a sense. It's not obviously a staged situation, but I try my best to give somewhat of a entertaining audio in a sense. I hope people enjoy what I bring to it. But on this occasion, I thought I would like to do like a full piece today, and the reason for that being is because it was my birthday yesterday. Yes, that's right, birthday, and I'm not so much an astrologist type of person, but I know a lot of people are. So I thought to myself, you know what? Let me look this up. And so that would make me a Virgo, wouldn't it? Let's see. I'm literally researching Virgo star sign. And you know what? I thought let's be a bit informative outside of what I do today. Let's just read about it. Just speaking about it, it's kind of got me curious. So yeah. So here it is. It says element Earth. It's an Earth sign. Color gray, beige, pale yellow. That's interesting. I'm not really a yellow fan, to be honest. Quality mutable. Day, Wednesday, ruler, Mercury. Greatest compatibility, Pisces and Cancer. Lord knows what they are, or what that represents. Lucky numbers 5, 14, 15, 23, 32. Never really been a fan of those numbers either, so that's interesting. Yes, but of course, August 22nd to September. Sorry, August the 23rd to September the 22nd. That's also interesting. Okay, so this is what they say. Virgos are always paying attention to the smallest details, and their deep sense of humanity makes them one of the most careful signs of the zodiac. Their methodical approach to life ensures that nothing is left to chance, and although they are often tender, their heart might be closed for the outer world. There is a sign often misunderstood, not because they lack the ability to express, but because they won't accept their feelings as valid, true, or even relevant when opposed to reason. The symbolism behind the name speaks well for their nature, born from a feeling that they are experiencing everything for the first time, which is interesting. I mean, I always, I've thought about the whole, don't get me wrong, I've thought about the whole idea of like being a Virgo, or just, sorry, not a Virgo, but like being a person of a star sign in a sense. And from what I see, the way I see it is just like, to an extent, everybody could be a Virgo or a Pisces, as they say, or a Cancer. It just my 2 pence on it, because to an extent, it all encapsulates different range of, or different facets to being a human being, in a sense, or being a person, to a degree. So it's interesting, though, just to read about it and see how it relates. But I suppose in this sense, the only one of the way I would say it relates is just being a person that's analytical, perhaps, and just, yeah, I do sometimes, yeah, over analyze things. I suppose that's one way we could go. We could put that there, but that's neither here nor there. But yes, so yeah, it was my birthday yesterday, and for me personally, it's not a day where I would say, oh man, let's have a destructive night, or go crazy, mess the city up, or F the city up, as they say. Not really my thing. I think for me, like, when a birthday comes, it's more a time to just reflect and just kind of, just perhaps, like for me, even yesterday, I was just like, you know what, where am I? Where was I last year or the year before? And do I feel like, could I honestly say that, I'm the same person, which would be a problem, or, have I come a long way since then? And I mean, without a doubt, in a sense where, like, I feel like I would celebrate, in a sense, the journey itself, and where I am right now. I would never say that I've even come close to reaching my destination, but just thinking about how far I've come, just comparison to where I was this time last year alone. Yeah, it has really been a journey. So, these are the times where I would kind of just reflect on the past year, or maybe sometimes even further than that, and just try to appreciate the journey for that moment in time. Because once that day's gone, it's like, okay, now we continue on the journey, and I feel like it's a beautiful thing when you can kind of have perspective on your situation, and even if it's not like the whole journey, but you try to be as honest and candid as you feel it is necessary, and it just leaves a mark. It leaves you in a state of mindset where it's almost like, okay, you can kind of feel, or like you feel a need to kind of make sure your trajectory in life is relative, is correct. You're trying to, basically, you're being true to yourself, and being candid, being honest is very important to me. So those are the type of things that comes to mind when I think about that. But yeah, just a lot of food for thought, I guess. But it's definitely interesting. But as I thought, like I said, the whole piece. So let's get back to it. Clinging, this piece is called Clinging to the Clean. Here we go. Hallucinating constraints. It soothes the symptoms that my mind would paint. Color all the mysteries, splish and splash like rainbow dishes, but only leading to more queries. Attempting to figure, could it be from a past time or preordained, perhaps to occur at a later date? Nor rest for the wicked, daring to be the sickly. But ego would never let me. It cultivated crowned, would smother my high, tearing my growth back down. Fragmented fractures that tell the tale. The moments set sail, but would tether my movements, inhibit my sail. Ruptures of the illest matters. They lay in seek. I could predict thee in the vicinity. Lost souls take hold. The tumultuous times, the earth tremors at a tenfold. Witnessing the terrifying flow, as the feelings unravel, the moments that captures the inner peace. Now I'm left cold, cursed with a terrifying iceberg glow. Shivers in the onset of rhythm, clinging, outreach on tippy toes, aching to not lose anymore. Terrible are the tides that resides inside. They feed on the dreams, cling as they scurry to the darkest depths in a hurry. Life was a dream, I fear, perhaps I'm not ready. Hypotrophy, not fit, not lean. Well, I think for me personally, what brought this on, what inspired this piece was just the fact that it was almost like, what do I call it? There's a word I want to use. It's almost like a moment. It's like a cocoon moment where it's almost like, and maybe perhaps that's why I called it clinging to the clean, where it's almost like clinging to something that is clean is almost like clinging to a moment that allows you to have peace, or like a peace of mind in a sense, just to avoid or to kind of prevent yourself from feeling certain things that you don't want to feel. In terms of what you're experiencing, and just, in a moment of like feeling cold, like I said, the iceberg glow, that's a very cold term. It's very telling, not just cold, but you have an iceberg glow. So I felt like that was a powerful way to express it. But as always, I would love to hear people's thoughts and opinions on what I'm putting out there. Of course, I'm sure I would. If I'm sure whoever hears this, their interpretation would be very interesting, and they would have some very intriguing take on my piece. And what it is, the beautiful thing is, not every take is the same, and that's the reason why I love to hear people's interpretation of what I write, because I feel like it's always interesting to hear people's feedback or how they interpret my work. Because in a sense, what I speak about, of course, is relatable. You know, we all experience certain moments like that. And like I said, we're all different in certain specific ways, distinct ways. So that's what makes it interesting. That's what makes it beautiful to hear back from somebody. And it's almost like, not always, but sometimes they really connect with what you have to say and your experience, or the background experience that you might discuss, or the background experience that they might inform about themselves to you. And it's almost like, and there's a connection between you and that person, just specifically around that moment. And it's so telling. It's so that's a powerful thing, you know, such a connection. So these are the things that almost like the driving force, the instigating factors that would almost inspire me to want to keep doing what I do, and even more so connect with people or share with people what I do, because that breeds that unique connection that, you know, I hear people talk about it, like in different situations, like even in sport. You know, I think what would kind of personify what I'm talking about, or could even that's synonymous to what I'm trying to say, is almost like, you know, when, like, for example, two boxers, and I've heard over the years, like, say, one boxer I've heard speak about it is like Mike Tyson, and he would be like, you know what, you really know what someone's made of when you go in a ring with them. You have a fight. Do you get what I mean? Now, I'm of course I'm going to an extreme, but it's almost like, you know what, your true colors, who you really are. And I feel like that's kind of like how I would go when I would analyze a situation from someone's feedback. Their understanding of my thing is almost like, and they're giving me their unique take on it. That's like a reflection on their person, their persona, personality, all wrapped in one. You know, it reflects their characteristics that they value, in a sense, even their habits sometimes. And, you know, I find it interesting. And so, like I said, you know, poetry goes deep with me, and I suppose this is why a podcast like this is relevant, because I could speak about this all day. But as always, it's a pleasure growing and speaking with everybody that's a supporter of what I do, and I appreciate everyone for sharing and supporting me, even up until now, because it's been, I believe, over 6 months since I've started this podcast, and still motivated to do it, even more so enjoying it, you know, and it just seems to be so much more autonomous, like it's automatic, you know, it just flows, and that's a beautiful thing, you know. So, as always, I appreciate everyone for supporting, listening to what I have to say, and of course, my books are available. I think everyone should know where to find it by now. Amazon, just type in Alex Murdoch. And yes, like I said, most recent release was Into the Abyss Volume 3, Poacher Journal, Growing Pains before that. And, that book is a big deal for me, Growing Pains. They're all a big deal, but so much went into that book. And I feel like it's starting to get I'm starting to hear that type of feedback where I'm really starting to hear that people understand that book, and it's almost like it's so profound what people say, and what I'm breaking down, where I would have conversation with people, I feel like they're starting to get that that kind of understanding of that book, where it's almost like they show me who they are through their interpretation, their understanding, and but I would encourage everybody that listen to what I do here to check out that book. If you're a person that's really big on knowledge of self, if you're really big on growth, like emotional, having a sense, having emotional tools to not only understand yourself better, but to be better and grow, and as a person, and to take a journey. Not only that, to take a journey, and knowledge of self, like I said, is a big one. If you're that type of person, then for sure you should definitely check out Poetry Journal, Growing Pains. I'm getting a lot of feedback, and I think people really do understand where I'm coming from with it, and it's a beautiful thing. So I would love to know that it's continuously, still even now, touching a lot of people's soul, and they can empathize with where I'm coming from. So, of course, thanks everyone, and appreciate your support. Until next time, take care.